94.9. Now, the city has been in the headlines over the past year for all the wrong reasons, and many point the finger directly at high-flying bankers. So do any of them feel responsible? Well, we can ask one of them. Former investment banker Tetsuya Ishikawa is here, the author of How I Caused the Credit Crunch. Welcome to you. Do you feel a sense of guilt?
Yeah, sure. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I wrote the book. I think it's inescapable that, credit bankers like myself are responsible for a significant portion of the blame because we were at the heart of the products that created the mess. But on the other hand, I wanted to move away from the scapegoating as well and make sure that some of the real issues didn't get lost in this orgy of scapegoating against bankers.
It is a provocative title, How I Caused the Credit Crunch. What are those real issues that you refer to?
Well, I mean, that's really one of a system. I think there's been a general trend towards short-termism, especially in the corporate world. We didn't set out to cause the credit crunch. We had a legal obligation to make profits. But
you're saying that you did exploit a system, but because it wasn't illegal, it allowed you to conduct yourselves in this way?
Well, I think exploit is a very strong word. We really pushed. We were legally obliged to make profits for our shareholders, and that meant making profits for this quarter, for this year. What happened in 2-3 years' time was something to worry about there and then.
It does sound like a very robotic fashion when you put it like that. And the city is full of bright guys. I mean, you yourself, Eton educated, you read economics, politics and philosophy at Oxford. At any point, did you realise that, something wasn't right here?
Yeah, I think there were times when most of us kind of thought, everything here is probably surreal. I mean, we were being incentivized with, large bonuses. I myself was earning 6 figures, within 2 years of my career, and if the industry had continued well, I've been earning 7. But the reality was, if I put my hand up and said, this is all wrong, I would have just been fired. I would have not been doing my legal obligations to the company. So, can you understand that people look, you epitomise, if you like, the symbol of the bad guys. When people look at the situations that they're in, they look at the country in recession, they feel that people like you are a huge contributing factor and haven't apologised. I think bankers are genuinely remorseful, but the problem with an apology and this kind of wave of sentiment is that the judgment has already been passed by a lot of the public. And I think there are other issues as well. Just to fix the banking industry in itself is not going to deal with what some of the real issues are behind the credit crunch. Do you think some of the changes that are being posed in terms of the regulation, is that going to solve it? Or does it need people who understand the complex situations that you are in to, poachers become gamekeepers, if you like? I think regulation is definitely required. I think it's probably welcomed by the industry as well. There's a danger that regulation can be used by politicians to pursue their own agendas. I think if it's done in conjunction with industry, and I think if some former bankers actually went onto the regulation side, then it would build up a lot more critical mass, it would build up a lot more respectability and fear, and hopefully, help keep the banking industry in check. Okay,
Tetsuya Ishikawa, we must leave it there. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now, Albert R. Broccoli, known as Cubby, is the man who brought 007 to the big screen. Now, to celebrate the centenary of the death, the British Film Institute is screening all the films and giving youngsters a chance to learn some 00 skills of their own. So our entertainment correspondent, Brenda Manis, went on